Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into historical events and explore the intricacies of human psychology. Today's topic takes us on a journey back in time to ancient civilizations. We will talk about a strange experiment that is considered immoral, the oldest documented psychological experiment in history, and all the mind-blowing implications that come with it. So, grab your coffee and let's get started. Imagine if we brought 100 newly born children, and before there was any contact between them and the outside world, we put them in a place by themselves and close them, and then grow these children away from people. What do you think is the language they would speak? How will they communicate with each other? And how will they behave? Well, the case we have just presented is called the language deprivation experiment, and it has been applied repeatedly throughout history only to arrive at an accurate answer to the question of, what is the source of language? Some of us have always asked ourselves this question: who was the first person who spoke the English language? And who put it? And why is this, for example, called an orange? Why is it not called a fugu? Who put the Latin language? Is it just a language created by a group of people and then evolved over the years? Of course, first of all, you might say now, isn't it unethical to conduct these experiments on children just to get an answer? An important question: what is the source of the language? Well, yes, it is true that I completely agree with you. So that's why this experiment, called the Forbidden Experiment. It was launched by a writer named Roger Shattuck, but this does not prevent us from analyzing this dilemma. As you know, many cases were isolated from the outside world unintentionally. People who were neglected and lived in the wilderness, for example, Mowgli. I mean, what language he speaks? Well, I'm just kidding. But there is a real story similar to Mowgli's story, like the Ukrainian girl named Oksana. This girl lived with dogs and she could communicate with them and use their language. For us, it's just barking. When I heard about it for the first time, I did not fully believe it, but according to many of those who interviewed that girl, it became almost true. In short, it means that humans can create new languages according to the environment in which they live. And of course, their behavior will also be parallel to the environment and place in which they were raised. The girl was true, that she communicated with dogs in their language, but she was also wild. Her behavior was wild. She was biting everyone in her first days. But there is a more credible story than Oksana's story. In 1980, specifically in the state of Nicaragua, deaf children were isolated from the outside world, and no contact was established with them. After the Nicaraguan Revolution, the state established the first school for the deaf, and these children were gathered there, meaning they wanted these children to learn sign language to express themselves better. But the strange thing is that these children invented a new language using hand gestures and facial expressions. And when the experts came to analyze the language that they invented, they could not because of its difficulty and the richness of its signs. Personally, I learned some signs language in school, but unfortunately, once when I met a deaf foreign, we couldn't understand each other. People can invent a new language whenever circumstances require it, and the evidence for that is sign language. It's different from one place to another, from one country to another. Now we understand that a person can form a new language if he is isolated, whether it is a sign language or a language of communication with animals, as with the Ukrainian girl. But can a person create a vocal language, such as English or the German language, if he is isolated? Well, I will ask you a question. If you want to know the answer, we have to do the forbidden experiment, and we must try it on newborn children. Do you agree? Well, I will consider that you agree. But indeed this experiment was done, and the first to do it were the Pharaohs, as the historian Herodotus says, where in the year 600 before Christo, the Pharaoh brought two newborn children to the shepherd and ordered him not to speak to these two children at all. He just puts food for them and leaves. The shepherd did that, and after approximately 2-3 years, he discovered that they had created a new language, and the first word they uttered was the word bigas, and they referred to it as bread. But this word was not present in the language of the Pharaohs, so the Pharaohs believed that the mother tongue is the language spoken by these two children. strange thing is that the word begus, which the two children uttered, was found in an ancient language, and it meant bread. So the pharaohs believed that it was the mother tongue, as the two children uttered it in an instinctive manner and without external intervention. If we put 100 children in a room and close them, then these children grow up without outside interference. They will invent the language. It may be a sign language or spoken language, but most likely no one else will understand it but them. The important question is who will teach them and who will protect them. Because if we isolate them, they will die on their own without healthcare and education. Who will teach them how to eat and what to drink, what is good and what is harmful? Supposing that they have adapted in one way or another and managed to survive at that time, the language will not be as important as their nature. How do they behave? Will they be aggressive? Will they be cannibals, for example? The fact that no one taught them what is edible and what is not, because their behavior will certainly not be similar to normal human behavior. After that experiment, a Roman emperor decided to replicate the experiment with a group of children separated from their mothers and isolated from any form of communication for several years. The result was that those children died before even speaking a word, indicating that language is acquired rather than innate. Science prevented the repetition of that experience and proved that deprivation of parental love and affection and communication with peers lead to delayed growth, then illness and isolation until death. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about the forbidden experiment and the Roman emperor's tragic experiment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content on human psychology and history. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. See you in the next video.